Hello, lovely. Today I want to share about the issue of wrong identification. Most of us have been identifying ourselves as the wrong thing. For example, when we feel like who are you is like the ultimate questions that we could be asking ourselves when we find out what do we want to do and making important decisions like should I do this career or should I like quit my job and do my thing or what is my thing. Like all the important decisions in life would involve us to answer the questions of who are we. So in order to answer the questions of who are we, our own identity, it's important to first clear out what we are, who we are not. So I feel like a lot of people would first of all think about we are our own body or we are our own thoughts, we are our mind. Those are very general and common misconceptions about our own identification. And also we could feel like, oh, I am maybe my role in the family, my role in the company, my role in or my gender. Let's say I'm a woman and we just like feel like that we need to do what women do because we identify ourselves as the woman. Or you're a man, then I identify myself as a man, so I need to do what men do. That is the identification issue, guys. When we identify ourselves to those, like I identify myself, for example, to the high class, I need to use premium things in order to show that I am in the high class, right? Or I'm middle class, so I kind of need to save a lot of money and try to invest in the stock market. That is what middle class do, right? So your identification has a lot to do with what you do and the results that you get. So answering the question, who are you, is like the ultimate life question that if you resolve this one question, your life will completely change because when you change your identification, your mind will change, your thoughts will change, and your like association will change. Everything will change. If you attach to materials and like ego kind of the identification is like I have something, and the more I have something, the more that I complete myself and the more that I am. For example, if I want a luxury bag or if I want a car, that is something that I identify myself as attaching as that material, as that thing that I want, because if I have it, I would be more of myself. If I have that luxury car, I would be more of myself. If I have that luxury house, I would be more of myself. If I have that person, if I have a lover, I would be more of myself. Isn't it very common thoughts and like concepts that is among us? Or on the other hand, some people are so resistant to materials and things like anti-consumption or minimalistic people are also actually in a form of identification because they identify themselves as the less I have, the more I am of myself. The less things I have, the more I am. So that is another, just the opposite form of identification with those people who just want more things and attach themselves to those more things that they want to get. For example, the more money I have, the more I am. That is also very common, and that is attaching ourselves and our own identity to things. So that's just two opposition of the attachment, but both are identification issue. So when we resolve the identification issue, everything will be right for us. But the underlying issue of everything, of every decision, is the identification. Are we identifying ourselves as the thoughts? If so, we would have listened and trust and believe in the limiting thoughts that we have. For example, if my thought is telling that I can't do it, or because I have never done it before, I wouldn't succeed this time. There's no reason why I would succeed this time. If I failed before, then chances are I will fail this time as well. So these are the limiting thoughts that our brain is telling us, our thought is telling us. If we identify ourselves as the voice in our brain, we would trust it, we would believe in it, and we would label ourselves as such. So if we believe that we are our body, we are our physical body, then we would believe that we would deteriorate as time goes by. We would be less flexible, we would be less smart or less valuable as we grow older. That could be the belief that we have simply because we identify ourselves as our body. So identification of who we are is the ultimate question. That if you want to change your life, if you want to get anything that you want, the quickest and most straightforward way is to resolve your identification issue and think about what are you identifying yourself as. That is the ultimate core issues.